Alright, so I completely and utterly suck at e-begging, which is why I never explicitly did that in almost 1 year since I have this channel. But several of you said I should totally try to fundraise for this tour, so here's my attempt at doing just that. Basically, no other fundraising website except for Indiegogo would even support non-Eurozone countries, and Indiegogo doesn't verify my PayPal account because potato. Now, I wrote to them and got no answer for 4 business days in a row, and since time is running short, I say forget about that and I'll do it the primitive way. So, this is a print screen of my PayPal account, so basically I have 10, 12, 13%, something to that effect of the total amount I need, which is $1,200. Now, I don't expect to raise $1,200, but I will leave in the low bar the detailed calculations as to why it would be fabulous if I could gather that amount. Now, every Monday I will publish a 30-second video with the state of the fundraiser until May the 30th, and then I'll publish the final one on this topic on either May 31st or June the 1st. The fundraiser essentially ends on June the 1st, somewhere around noon Eastern European summer time. Now, with that said, because all the other details with the financial arrangements are available in the low bar, now let me try to convince you why you should support this endeavor. Basically, I have to go to Ukraine anyway, sometime between June the 5th and June the 23rd, so regardless of the success or failure of this campaign, I will travel to Ukraine anyway. But if I go strictly for personal interest, at best you will all get videos with frugal footage, such as the one with Exploring Rural Transcarpathia, where I taped mostly things that happened to be in the way, and I had the luxury of having the time to pull out the camera and videotape. However, if you decide to help, I will be able to afford some of the things you have already requested. Now, the details are again in the low bar, but basically what I want to absolutely do are the followings. First is at least a 20-minute video from the Victims of Communism Memorial of Sighetu Marmației. Now, Sighetu Marmației was the site of an extermination gulag, like the one in Pitești, about which I have already made a video, this one. Now, since I have to go through Sighetu Marmației to reach Ukraine, I figured that I should absolutely make a better video about this particular gulag by actually going there. Now, if funding allows, I want to videotape inside and maybe even get one of the local historians to speak on camera about it. If not, there's already plenty of material about that site that I can use to make a very decent video once I have the footage from the place. Second thing I want to do, history of Transcarpathia. Now, I want at least 30 minutes of an interview with a local historian that lives in this Ukrainian region and specialized in this Ukrainian region. Now, I'll only make this one if I raise at least $500, because making this one simply implies staying an extra day somewhere in the rural areas of Transcarpathia, and also monstrous work to subtitle it in English. Now, the interview will probably be either in Romanian or in Russian, depending which historian I get a hold of. Anyway, the third video that I absolutely want to do is exploring Uzhgorod using the model with Chernivtsi, about which I made a short video and then a long one. Well, I already made a short video about Uzhgorod, and now it's time to make at least a 45-minute video about it, just like I did with Chernivtsi or Chernivtsi. Now again, depending on the amount of funding I get, this video could be better or worse. Basically, if funding allows, I'll spend 2 days in Uzhgorod really exploring the city and employing local guides to further help with the materials. If funding really allows, interviews are also on the table. The fourth thing that I want to do is exploring Lviv. Now, Lviv or Lvov or Lvov, whatever, there's hundreds different spelling of the city, is the birthplace of Ludwig von Mises. So, definitely, it's a must. The fifth thing that I want to do is a mini-series of exploring Kiev. Now, on this one, I want at least 100 minutes in 2 or even 3 videos, like, part 1, part 2, part 3. Again, depending on the funding, I could go deeper with the exploration or less deep with the exploration. And if I exceed $900, further things are on the table, such as an extra day in Chernivtsi, so maybe I can catch the Jewish Museum open, an extra day maybe in Vinnytsia, the site of a Soviet massacre during the Great Purge, or maybe even another town, perhaps Mukachevo in Zakarpattia. I really don't know, but definitely further extra cities are on the table if I exceed $900. Basically, if you support me around the $1,000 area, you'll get so much bonus content that you'll feel you know Ukraine better than I do. Now, in the very unlikely case that I'll get support over the 1200 cap, I'll treat that as I treat any other donation, namely save it up for buying new equipment if it's substantial enough, or use it to pay current bills if it's not that substantial. So basically this is the plan. If you don't trust me to post accurate screenshots, you can make a pledge on Patreon, which will be charged on June the 1st. It's not the most particularly reliable way because Patreon has its own delays and I might not get the cash in time because I have to factor in the 3 or 4 business days that PayPal needs to actually wire the cash into my wallet, but that's absolutely fine. So there you go. You want a lot of content about Ukraine? Gib shekelim oivey, and you know I'll do it. I did it without asking shekelim from you anyway, so you know I like doing it. As for delivery time, well, no more than 5 days from my arrival back in Cluj-Napoca until I upload the first video, and no more than 20 days until I upload the entire series. Now, I provide these long terms because in case I have to make subtitles, well, that's heavy work. And, you know, after you subtitle 3 or 4 minutes, you start becoming lazy. And after you subtitle 30 minutes, it becomes annoying as hell. So, on this topic, I'll see you again next Monday to report on the state of the fundraiser. To those of you who will donate, thank you in advance. And to everyone else, thank you for watching.